Over to you.
Okay, thanks, Paul. So hi, everybody. I'm Fiona Wilson. I'm the course leader for Surface Pattern and Textile Design at Staffordshire University. And I'm going to share my screen with you now and give you an overview of the course that I run. Hopefully you can all see that. Just make it full screen. Bear with me. Okay. So we're based at the Stoke-on-Trent campus. And you can see some of the buildings here. Everything's very close together on campus. It's a really nice kind of campus culture, really, I would say. So you never have to walk too far for the library or a coffee or the studios. So we're very kind of well placed as well for getting around to other parts of the country. So, you know, if you need a research trip out to Birmingham or London or Manchester, they're not far away on the train either. And the train station is literally over the road from our university. So it's a bit like we've got our own train station. In terms of entry requirements, you'd be looking at 112 points for UCAS. And for A levels, that's a BBC. But everybody who comes for an interview with us will be interviewed with their portfolio. So for us, we're kind of really looking for potential in our applicants. So I'm just going to play you a quick little YouTube video, which you'll hear some of the students talking as well about the course, because I always think it's nice for you to hear from them too. So we're just going to play that and hopefully you can see this. Can you see the video screen? Okay, is it shared? Is that a no?
I can hear it, but not.
You can hear it, but you can't see it. Okay, I tell you what, I'll come back to that at the end. Let's leave it for now. If the connection's different, so I'll do that in a little bit. Okay. So the next thing to kind of highlight really that as a course, we have an extremely good reputation. We've been going for a long time. And we're currently ranked 5th in the Guardian League tables, and we've been in the top 10 for quite a number of years now. And we've also been gaining 100% overall satisfaction from our students in the National Student Survey 7 times in the last 8 years. So we have very happy students who really enjoy the course. In terms of our studio, we've got a really great space for you to work in. It's open plan. You'll be sat with other students and you have your own designated desk space for the whole 3 years that you're with us. And the reason we've set it out like that is because it kind of emulates what you'll go to if you go to work in a design studio in industry, but also because you learn a huge amount from each other as well as the staff as well. We have some really fab workshops and facilities at the university, including screen printing. We have our own rug room, we have dye facilities, sewing room, CAD facilities, as well as digital fabric printers, a print bureau for printing onto large format paper. And we also have ceramic studios, photography studios, and laser cutter and 3D print studios as well. So there's lots of different things that you can access as a student on the course. And we're still very multidisciplinary. So, you know, you can be inducted into the woodworking workshop if you want to start creating prints for hard surfaces too. So in terms of the kind of students we tend to attract is because we tend to get students who want to experience designing for a broad range of products. So on surface pattern and textile design, it's not just fabrics. You know, you could be designing for greetings cards, stationery products. It could be wallpaper designs, could be textiles. You know, it could be prints for fashion or prints for interiors, but it could also be floor coverings and ceramics as well. So surface pattern design students really kind of tend to enjoy kind of exploring colour and image, working with motif and scale and composition. But we also have students who really enjoy kind of manipulating fabrics, you know, altering the surface of something either through stitch or fabric manipulation too. So there's scope on the course for people to find kind of their particular way of working. We don't have a house style. So the kind of things that I'm looking for in a portfolio are really, you know, kind of evidence of drawing, and that might be observational drawing and mark making, or kind of more good use of colour and shape. We like to see a project that maybe shows a beginning, a middle and an end, so that we can see how you've worked through a project and shown your ideas, your design development, but also the conclusion of it too. Colour is a really important thing in surface pattern design and textiles. So we kind of tend to look for people where they've shown kind of a joy of working with colour as well in their portfolio. It might be that you're kind of working with materials and surfaces as well, something that really demonstrates your skill with fabric manipulation or mixed media or embroidery, and really a good sense of you. So something that kind of shows me that you're able to think for yourself. It might be that you've done projects outside of school or college where we can kind of see things that you've been working on. But as I said, what we're really looking for is potential. So if you haven't got all of these things in your portfolio, then that doesn't worry me. It's kind of really being able to talk through your work and us to be able to get a sense of your passion for this particular subject area. So what kind of things can you expect to learn on the course? Well, we do explore a really wide range of visual studies and different approaches to drawing and painting. So it might be kind of more loose mark making and then taking that through and translating it into motif designs like the butterflies you can see here. We do some large group project drawings, particularly in Welcome Week, where you get to work with different year groups as well, which can be really good fun, setting up big still life spaces for you to draw and work in. It could be kind of very well observed drawing. So we will challenge you to develop your drawing skills using all sorts of different types of media. And that might be kind of more painterly approaches or abstract approaches. It could be kind of things like very linear drawing, or it could be collage and paper cutouts. It might be painting with large brushes or taking things through into printmaking techniques like lino cuts. And I guess kind of what we're always pushing our students to do is to get to a point where they've got lots of options so that they can refine, develop, and then pick the best of their work to take forward into the design process. So, for example, you can see here, we're not just drawing one giraffe's head, we're trying out lots of different ways of drawing that giraffe until we can find something that really kind of looks really good quality, really, really high end. And our students are recognised for their excellent drawing skills. It's something that they're well known for when they graduate. It's one of the reasons why our students do well when it comes to going and getting jobs. So, most of our projects, most of the things that you'll work on the course will begin with the drawing stage of things. So kind of being open-minded and willing to having a go, it is key. Florals in particular are really popular in surface pattern design. That's why you'll see them all over clothes, all over wallpapers, fabrics for interiors. So if you have a passion for drawing natural forms, then you'll definitely enjoy surface pattern design. So the next kind of things that you'll be working on, and this is kind of in your first and second year, you'll learn all about different kind of screen printing techniques. So, fabrics can be dyed, they can be screen printed, they can be digitally printed as well. And you will learn a real range of techniques in the print room, from foiling, so nice metallics. You'll learn how to flock things, you'll learn how to bleach out, and also devore, which is a velvet technique too. And you can kind of see the array of different qualities that can be achieved in the print room. The print workshop is a great space, and we have a full-time technician who supports the students alongside staff, and you can see there's lots of information in the workshops to help you, and we encourage you to keep to document the processes so that you've got this to refer back to as you go through your course, but also after your course as well. And you will learn in your second year how to create a hand screen printed length So you'll do this by hand, but you'll also learn how to do this digitally in Photoshop and Illustrator. So we're a really good mix on the course of real hands-on, still practical skills, but also covering the digital elements, which are really important for you as you go through into industry and careers. The kind of advantage of doing both really is that by doing it by hand, you really appreciate the scale of the work that you're creating. It's much harder sometimes to get a sense of the scale of a design when it's on a computer screen. When that comes out of the screen and onto fabric, you really start to appreciate kind of the space and the density of the designs that you're creating. We also get you to do quite experimental approaches in the print room. So this is a painterly printing workshop. So there's opportunity for students to develop their sense of colour and kind of experimental approaches. And you can kind of see this is some third year work. So by your third year, you will know how to do multicoloured repeated lengths on the print table as well. So it's a really lovely process. It's quite a challenge, but it's a very satisfying result at the end. And you can see here kind of the scale of the work and how it's about teamwork as well and working together, which again, as well as kind of the technical and creative skill set that you need, our course also underpins some of the soft skills that you need going into the workplace. So working together, communicating, you know, time management and things like that. The other thing to think about, obviously, as I mentioned before, surface pattern and textiles isn't just about fabric. You can print onto hard surfaces. So you can see here a student's been working on wood and plastics, slate and paper, could be ceramics. So this is where kind of the breadth of things that you can go and work in afterwards comes into place. And as I mentioned, we've also got great laser cutter facilities. So this is some laser cut papers on the left hand side, and on the right hand side a student who is working with dyes and laser etched wood surfaces. You know, so again, these are the kind of things that could go through into things like tabletops or hard surfaces for wall coverings, kind of architectural type coverings as well. And we have some really great CAD workshop spaces. So we'll introduce you to Photoshop and Illustrator, and you can see some of our students here working on a colour project here. There's kind of the main things that we work on really are print, so screen printing and digital print, and embroidery. Those are the two things that we cover on the course. And you can see here again, in terms of embroidery, it might be very illustrative embroidery, or it could be more about pattern and colour, or it could be more about kind of changing the structure of the surface through things like pleating that you can see here. And also, you know, combining the two, so you can combine the print and the stitch together. So again, it doesn't matter whether you've done any screen printing before or any embroidery before, because we teach everybody the basics to get started with. As I mentioned, we also have a great rug tufting room. So this is a great space where you can actually make your own rug, and these are some examples of third year work. It's a really nice process to still have as part of our studios and workshops. And then as you go through into your second year, you start to kind of develop more personal projects. And here you can see some of the examples of the kind of things that our students work from. So you get to pick your theme at this stage. You get to decide which processes you want to revisit from your first year and the start of your second year, and starting kind of to push things more in the direction you want to take things into. And this leads really nicely into your third year too. But I think what you can get a sense here is the breadth of different styles and approaches that the students have. And there's some more examples here. So you've got students picking to work on things like greetings cards and gift wrap. It might be prints for, this one was swimwear on the left. You know, it might be kind of more abstract designs for stationery projects as well. So again, a very diverse range of things that you can design for. We don't make products on the course, so we don't actually physically make things like cushions, or, you know, we don't have to make the cards or the stationery. We can mock them up, or we can also show them visually through using CAD packages. Really, our focus is about the decorative design element, and that's what you're coming to learn, is how to create beautiful designs, patterns, placement, prints that can go on any surface for any product. The other thing that we're well known for on the course is our industry project briefs. So we've got really good connections with a huge range of different companies, and that's partly because it's our graduates that have gone on to work in those companies. So for example, Johnson's Tiles, who is a local company to us, it's one of my graduates that works in the design studio. And we've done a few projects with them over the years where the students can go and have a look at the factory and visit and see how the process of the kind of how things are made, and they get to see the trend room and go in and find out a bit more about the company. And then they also present their work, their final projects, to the design studio. So you can see one of my graduates here presenting his final ideas to Amy from the design studio. And this is a really great opportunity for our students. They do a commercial project in their second year, and usually 2 to 3 commercial industry projects in the third year as well. So although we don't have a placement year in terms of you going out and working in industry, you will have done probably 3 or 4 industry projects by the time you graduate, which you can put on your CV. And it also means you've met some, kind of people from industry. So you're kind of developing your network already, which is really great. We've also worked with companies like Hallmark Cards. Again, one of my graduates works here, and you can see some of the idea development that a student was doing with one of their projects. This was for greetings cards. And what's really lovely about some of these projects is they lead on to prizes, and those prizes might work as a 2-week work placement for the company. So this is 2 students who went on to do 2-week work placements at Hallmark head office up in Yorkshire. Sometimes it results in work being made. So usually our winners for Johnson's Tiles get some of their tiles actually made, and they get a set of their own tiles back, which is always nice to see. Sometimes it can be a monetary reward as well, and that can be quite handy when you're a student. Here's some other examples, again, Hallmark cards, and you can start to see the different kind of approaches, the different styles. So the collection on the right was a greetings cards collection for boys' birthdays, and the collection on the left was for teenage girls. We also have lots of really great speakers who come in. So again, this is Katie. She's one of my past graduates who came in to talk. She has worked for Clinton's Cards, Sainsbury's, Mothercare. So they'll come in and show you some of the kind of work that they produce in their jobs. They tell you how they kind of got those jobs as well, which is really handy. And got Maria on the right here. She was working at Johnson's Tiles at the time. So that's really good. Again, it's kind of extending your network of people that you know, but also if you're not sure about kind of what the jobs are or what you want to go and do, we get 4 visiting speakers every year. So you will have heard 12 different people talk by the time you graduate from a variety of different backgrounds. And that's a really kind of useful way of you finding out a little bit more. In your third year as well, you get the opportunity to have tutorials with our visiting speakers about your work as well. So you can see here, this was Karen Nicol that we had in a couple of years ago. She's a fantastic embroiderer and brought in lots of her work for the students to see. So that was fabulous. So we have a kind of a rolling programme every 3 years of different speakers who come in and talk to you. And I just wanted to kind of show you a little bit really of the final year project. So in your final year, you get to choose what you want to work on, obviously with support from staff to help you think about what's a good thing to challenge yourself enough with. But we have some really great kind of opportunities to work with photography department to create beautiful imagery. So although these look like dresses, they're not. They've been mocked up to look like dresses and then turned into photo shoots. So you can have some really lovely, beautiful imagery to take forward into your portfolio. This was a student who was creating a range for stationery products. So these were drawings that were created by hand, but then scanned in and manipulated digitally. So you're probably starting to get a sense of kind of how different everybody's work is as well. And we think that's a really good thing. We want you all to find your own sort of personal style and direction. But also, as a surface pattern designer, what you tend to find is you have the ability to create very varied designs. So within your portfolio, you might have a number of different styles, which is a good thing for a surface pattern designer. It means you can respond to lots of different projects from different companies. Again, these are students here on the left who created an interiors collection. So this is a mixture of digitally printed wallpaper designs, hand screen printed fabrics for a high-end interiors. Whereas on the right, the student here was creating designs for fashion prints, and she sent this off to a company who made the jacket for her. You know, there's a really good kind of spirit in our studio. We really kind of adopt a really positive culture of support, and you can really see that the students really enjoy their time with us. This is again one of the third years who was developing a range of products for gift wrap, actually. And she's since gone on to set up her own business now. So we have quite an entrepreneurial set of students and graduates too. Again, another very different looking final year project. This was a wallpaper collection, which were all hand drawn, hand painted, and then taken through into computer packages to develop this range of designs and printed on the large format printers at the university. This was a kids interiors project. So these are wallpaper designs for a children's bedroom. Again, hand drawn, hand painted, but then taken through into computer aided design to develop the final collection. And this was actually a digitally printed fabric length that you can see here. And then it was hand embellished over the top. So this is like a collection of fabrics for interiors. And then the same student also collected, you can just see a little bit of them at the bottom there. She created a range for gift bags and gift wraps too. So again, kind of that diversity that students are able to design for a huge range of different projects and products. This student went down the more abstract route. So these again, really large scale fabrics printed in the print room, hand printed, using screens and stencils to create this interiors range of fabrics. Again, another different project. Again, this is actually the same student. So they did two projects in their final semester, a digitally screen printed collection of fashion scarves, and you can see her photo shoot images there as well. And then on the left, she chose to do a stationery collection of gift wrap, gift bags, notebooks, and gift cards. So you kind of start to see our students can generate quite a lot of work very quickly. And that's kind of what you need to go and work in industry. So you'll do a really different range of timed projects with us. Some of them might be 12 weeks long, some might be 6 weeks, some may only be 3 weeks or even less. So you get very good at kind of responding to different types of projects and different times of timescales, but also what it helps you to work out is how you like working. So some people really love a short scale project and other people much prefer a longer scale one. So it's kind of helping you work out what's the right kind of project, but also career path for you to go down into as well. We also encourage our students to take part in lots of competitions and awards. We're really lucky in our industry that there are lots of opportunities to do this, which again might bring money in for you in your final year, but also again, you know, give you opportunity to get press coverage or networking. So these are a range of students over the years who've entered the Hand and Lock competition, which is an embroidery competition. Hand and Lock Company are a very prestigious embroidery company down in London. So we've had finalists, and the first image on the left there with the bird with the phoenix, Claire, she won second prize with that. And she has also now gone on to become self-employed as well. We've also had students win competitions with local companies such as Portmeirion. This was actually a competition that was open up to, you know, all over the country, and Gemma kind of was the winner out of 380 entries for this one. So she gained £1,000 for this and a 3-month paid internship at the Portmeirion factory. And then the other thing we like to do when we're allowed, hopefully soon again, we'll see, is some trips abroad. So here are some of the trips we've done in the past. So we've been to Florence, we've been to New York, and we've been to Copenhagen. And we do also do a trip down to London as well normally. So fingers crossed we'll all be allowed to do that soon. The other thing you get an opportunity to do on the course is apply to come down to New Designers in London with us. And this is at the end of the 3rd year. So you can kind of see this is the big space on the left. It's at the Business Design Centre in Islington. And we take down usually about 14 to 16 students to exhibit their work there. And you can see an example of the stand on your right hand side here. And it's a really exciting event where students get to show off their work, meet potential employers. There's usually talks on, and obviously you get to meet lots of other graduates who are just finishing their degree as well. So it's a great place to research. I have to say the last couple of years, and this year included, it's actually a digital online event for obvious reasons. But that's been quite positive because it's meant that all of our students are able to take part in that. And there's been lots of competitions still for the students to enter, and prizes and awards for them to have the opportunity to enter. And also it's actually made things like listening to the talks that are on at this event a lot easier because we're not limited by numbers and space, so everybody can listen to those too. So what I'm finding really is, even though this year has been quite tricky, the industry's response to it has been really positive, and lots of things have come out of that to help our graduates. But there's some more examples for you here, and again you can start to see the variety and the range of different things that the students produce on the course. And New Designers is a great way, whether it's, you know, a physical event or an online event, for our students to get recognition for the things that they've produced. So, you know, they'll get special mentions from different companies. This student here, actually, when she graduated, is now working at Next Clothing. So she went on to work there after her degree. You know, so the students get lots of attention from different companies such as UK Greetings, it could be Moonpig Cards, it could be Made.com, John Lewis, Winnovate, Wilco. So we do, you know, have a lot of success with our students being recognised for the quality of the work that they do, which is lovely, really. You know, it's kind of what we want. We've also had success with our students winning the major awards at New Designers. So you can see on the right here, Caroline, a few years ago, won the award for Sanderson Fabrics. So Sanderson Fabrics is a really high-end company. Caroline, again, won £1,000 and a 4-week paid work placement with them. And you can see her work here. It was all hand screen printed, really good use of colour. Holly won the Hallmark Card Award as well a few years ago now. But again, you know, it's usually a monetary prize and the chance for a work placement, which quite often can lead on to permanent jobs as well. And then these are, on the left, we had a student win the Johnson's Tile Award, which was nice, for her laser etched flooring. And then, as I mentioned, sometimes, you know, at the event itself, you know, digital event or real life event, there are opportunities to enter other competitions. And this particular year we had a competition for Peroni, and they were asking students to decorate glass. So these were actually created at the event. They hand painted these designs while they were there, and one of my students was lucky enough to win it. So that was really nice. So in terms of careers, what can you go on and do? So I've mentioned quite a lot of these already, but the kind of things that my graduates go on to do are things like greetings cards designs. It could be wallpaper design, fabric design, so that can be for interiors or fashion, or, you know, and within fashion, it could be for children's wear, women's wear, men's wear, boys' wear, it can be for nightwear, daywear, all sorts of different things. I've had graduates go on to become sock designers for sock companies. So again, creating the patterns that go onto the socks. Flooring designs, it could be tile designs, ceramic decoration design. I've even had students go on and become stylists. So this might be about creating kind of spaces where they hire big spaces, big studio spaces, and do setups for companies like all the styling and branding shops for companies like George, Asda. And I guess really it's quite a similar kind of process because it's all about colour, composition, space. So kind of you have quite transferable skills for a number of different kind of career options. Some of our graduates have gone on to become illustrators, illustrators of books as well. Quite a lot go on to set up their own businesses in terms of self-employment. Some go on to become freelancers. So slight difference. Self-employment tends to be if you have your own business where you might be making work and you sell things on in terms of product. Whereas freelance is when you might be working for a business. So you might be working for John Lewis as a designer, but not as a permanent member of staff, maybe as somebody who just has projects to work on now and again. And I also have quite a few graduates who go on into teaching, whether that's teaching at school or teaching at college or at university or privately too. So the kinds of companies that our students have gone on to work for in the past is, again, really, really varied. So currently got graduates at Next in their clothing section. H&M, I've got a graduate who's just come back from Copenhagen and another one who's just gone out to Copenhagen. So, it can take you all over the world. River Island, George, which obviously is part of Asda, Sainsbury's, Clinton's Cards, Hallmark Cards, Card Factory. The greetings card companies are big employers, and it's a really lovely, friendly industry to work in as well. So a lot of our students do go on to work there. A lot of the high street companies like Wilko's, CPH Fusion, who are also based in Copenhagen, they create prints for fashion. Debenhams, Monsoon, Johnson's Tiles, a lot of the ceramic companies locally like Churchill China, Danooms, Denby, Wedgwood. Then we've got more UK Greetings do kind of a number of different things, from greetings cards to gift wrap, gift tags, gift bags. Mothercare, smaller companies like the Handcrafted Card Company or Art House, Image Apparel, Brecrest Babyware, Scion Wallpaper. And we've also had students go out to India as well to work for companies out there for like 6-month work placements, which can be really, really interesting. So the other thing, as I mentioned, we quite often get students going on to do self-employment and freelancing. And one of the things that the university also has is a campaign called Be Inspired. Be Inspired is a business startup program that graduates and students actually have access to, which is a year's mentoring and some funding to help people get started. And that's been really, really successful. So, for example, Alex, who you can see on the right down here, she actually started off working for Wilko's, but then left and set up her own business. She's now got a shop on Not on the High Street. Becky and Hope, that you can see just above them here, they've set up together and they've just opened up a shop and done a successful crowdfunding campaign to set up their own studios and workshops as well. So there's kind of lots of scope to kind of do lots of different things. This is Ashley Thomas. She's one of my graduates who went on to create a licensed collection in Debenhams. So she had her own branded work in Debenhams, which was on all sorts of things like bedding, kitchen utensils. That has since finished, but she's gone on to find another company to do that with, as well as she has her own website where she sells her own collections direct to customers as well. This is Alona. She went on to also set up her own business. She is a designer of greeting cards. Work, done extremely well. She's won some of the Henry's Awards twice. Henry's Awards are specific to the greetings card industry, but they're very prestigious awards, so that's always exciting to see. This was Alex when she was working at Wilko's. So she was a junior designer and she was in charge of purely Christmas. So she worked on Christmas all the time, which may seem a bit strange, but that's kind of how it works sometimes in the design world. But she went to Germany and China as part of her job as well. And I tend to find quite a few of our students will go and work in industry for a while, but then also go on and set up their own companies, whether that's as a sideline or as their main thing. So that's kind of a brief overview of kind of how the course, content is, the kind of jobs you can go on and do afterwards. The other thing to check out is our Instagram account, which is Staffs. That's a really great place to go and see more imagery. We share our students' work on there, give you a really good sense of the different kind of things that our students work on and what we're doing, over the semester. So I would definitely recommend going and having a look at that. So I'm just going to escape and come out of here, stop sharing my screen. Just going to see if I can share the little video from the beginning, if you want to bear with me. Hopefully I can do that. Share.
At the Connected University, we're connecting minds to great opportunity, students to industry, and you
see it now
in surface pattern and textile design.
We're a 3-year programme and we offer our students a really great scope to come and learn the professional and technical skills they need to go into industry. We have great facilities here and it's done to reflect industry. So they kind of work for it.
We get like the studio spaces in surface.
Yeah, that's buffering, I'm afraid. We can't. Fiona?
Industry coming in to set us live brief so that we can prepare ourselves for work in the future and how to work with within industry. We've worked with Liverpool Pottery in our second year, Hallmark, Moonpig, Paper Rose.
We take them to Paris, to Premier Vision, to some of the trade shows. We do an annual trip down to London.
Fiona?
Yeah, did you lose me?
We lost you, and yeah, the video itself, we could hear it, but it's stuttering and buffering. And
not to worry. What I can do if I come back, can you see me still now?
No, we can just see the. There you go.
Okay. Sorry, my Wi-Fi went weird, as it does sometimes. Okay. What I can do is I can email you the link, and then if you want to share that with the students, that's probably going to be easier than trying to get it to record again. So sorry about that.
That's great if you so if you email that to us, we'll share that with the students as well as this recording as well, which has been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, no problem at all.
And yes, if any students have any other questions, we'll they pass them on to us. We'll forward them on to yourself. But that's really great. Thank you so much.
Get in touch if you have any questions. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Bye now.